So we're starting to get quite a variety of different things that we're showing, and it's getting to the point where navigating between these is a little tricky. It might be nice to have some sort of unified way to let people navigate around our 360s and our model, and maybe even the booth showing off our fantastic imagery. So what I'm thinking is now is probably a good time to talk about overlays. Overlays are basically a 2D interactive HTML panel that you can drag and drop things onto that is overlaid on top of your content. So if you want a button that's a home button, for example, that's always there, overlays are what you want to do. So I'm going to show how easy it is to create an overlay. I will add a new one, and I'm going to name this one something super creative, Tim's Demo Overlay. All right, here we go. So we're in the overlay editor now. And if you've used any of these drag and drop website editors, this is a very similar kind of toolkit. So what we're going to do is, just to show you how easy it is, I'm going to create a container first of all. And a container is just like it says it is. It can contain things. And I'm going to turn on Flex. And so this is a Flex container now. Now, Flexbox is a standard for web design tools. So if you want to learn more about Flexbox and its properties and terminologies and stuff, we do have help files, but like I said, it's also a web standard. So there is plenty of other stuff on what it does. But for this example, we're going to keep things really easy. And so what I'll do is I'll make this box look a little prettier. So I'll say, okay, I want to round some corners, and I'll maybe make them 25 pixels rounded. See, look how nice that looks already. And then maybe I'll put a border on it, and we can make a 2 pixel border that's, I don't know, we'll make it kind of a grayish. Okay, great. Looks good. Now let's add a button in here. So with this selected, I can add things into my container. I'm going to add an image first of all. And you'll notice that there's nothing in there because I need to specify background image. And you can see up here that I have this image selected. So I'm going to say, okay, well, this image is going to be an icon. And I'm going to now choose an icon. And I'm going to pick the up arrow. And then I'm going to leave everything like that. And then what I would do is I'm going to duplicate this icon. And because they're in a Flex container, that automatically takes care of the arrangement and alignment of things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this guy, and I'm going to change this to a down arrow. And then I'm going to go back to the container. And currently I can't, because I can only select these two because they're filling up the whole container. So let's take a look at this guy, which is the tree view. So this shows you your typical parent-child tree view hierarchy. And I'm going to start naming things. Menu container, and this will be the up arrow, and this is going to be the down arrow. Okay, so now I can select the container from here and go back to its properties. And what I want to do is, you see how these buttons are kind of like going outside my container? I don't want that. I want to have the nice rounded edges. So if I go select my container again and go to the properties, there's the content overflow. And I can say, okay, anything that overflows, I want it set to hidden. And look at that. Now we're back to that beautiful rounded shape again. Likewise, I don't want these up and down. I think I maybe want them elevator style. So I can just go to Flex Container and change this from row to column. Just like that. And then there's other settings where you can set alignment and things like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these buttons so I can't click them because it's getting a little frustrating trying to click on the container. But what we can do is we can lock these items, and now we can't select them. So now we can just drag the container around. And I can bring the container over here and shrink it down. And I'm going to set some more values, like the position. I'm going to set the position to be 8 pixels from the top and 8 pixels from the right. Let's do that. There we go. Now, I'm going to go to size. Right now, it's set to a percentage, which on this screen looks good. However, we have the ability to see how it's going to look and behave on other resolutions. So, for example, how is this going to look on an old iPhone? A bit squishy. How's it going to look in landscape view? Well, not bad. What's it look like on an iPad? Oh, not bad. Not bad, right? So because it's all HTML, it dynamically resizes and squishes and stretches depending on if you want it to or not. We could hard code it to be a pixel value, but for now we're going to keep it a percentage value just because we're going to keep things basic for this getting started. All right, I'm going to unlock these guys and I'm going to lock my menu because I'm going to double click the up arrow and I'm going to add an action. And I'm naively just going to have a jump to snap action on here. On click. Demo group, when they click the up button, I want them to go to the high image and I want them to keep the current camera position, which will maintain the viewer's current view, so it won't kind of jump the camera around when they're clicking these buttons. And then I'll do the same for the down. I'll add an action, jump to snap. When they click this, I would like you to go to the low one. And again, keep the current camera position. And I'm going to save that. I'm going to get out of overlays and I'm going to go over to my group here, my demo group. All right, I'm going to go into my low example here. And there's multiple ways I can do this. I can go into my overlay here and I can turn it on this way. But then I have to do that for everything, right? So the easier way is before you even go in here, what you can do is you can say, change snap overlays. And I'm going to change all of these snaps to use my new overlay that I made. Great. So now when I click in the low, sure enough, here's my up and down arrows. So what I could do is anywhere I'm looking, I can now click the up arrow and I'm magically going to go up. And likewise, if I'm maybe looking over here and I want to go down, whoosh, there I go. Okay, and because we took this photo from the same spot, we can now go up and down at our leisure and our camera position is maintained throughout. So this is a very simple example of what overlays can do for you, but hopefully it gives you a bit of an understanding of the fundamentals of overlays.